Hello all and welcome back to another episode of Buy This Not That, and today we have a battle of the best. We're pitting two former BTNT champions against each other, but unfortunately only one guitar can come out victorious as usual. Alright, this is the axe, let's go! Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. For those of you that are new, my name is Nick, and my claim to fame is I have a birthmark in the shape of a sea urchin. But today we're pitting two former BTNT champions against each other to figure out just which guitar will give you more metal for your money. We're talking about the Schecter Sun Valley Super Shredder FRS versus the Ibanez Genesis RG550. These two guitars have some phenomenal stock features and they come in just under $1,000 in price. They're arguably some of the best priced new Super Strats on the market today. Per usual, we'll take a look at a few things to include construction, hardware, electronics, trim, and overall appearance. Alright, let's start with construction. Both of these axes have bolt-on neck construction and are at a 25.5 scale. The Super Shredder rocks a mahogany body, which is very nice, and it's in that Super Strat shape. The neck and fretboard are crafted with that pale Canadian maple, which is pretty iconic and unique to Schecter. The Super Shredder's neck profile is classified as a thin C, and the thickness at the first fret is 20 millimeters and at the 12th fret is 22 millimeters. This guitar has a straight radius design at about 14 inches all the way through. Something that's super awesome is that the Schecter's truss rod adjustment is located at the heel, and if you've watched any of my videos, I love that. But you should too, because it makes everything so much easier. The Schecter also comes with a contoured heel or a shredder's cut that gives you access to those really high frets. Lastly, the Super Shredder is crafted in Indonesia. I know that's important to some of y'all, so there you go. Now the Ibanez Genesis is quite a bit different in this department. The Genesis rocks a basswood body that's cut in that awesome sharp Super Strat shape unique to Ibanez. The neck is actually a Super Wizard neck that's actually a 5-piece maple walnut construction. This is something that sets the Genesis apart because when you look at the back of the neck, it looks super sleek and fancy and professional. Something to note, the neck is considerably thinner on the Ibanez than the Sun Valley Super Shredder. Its thickness is 17 millimeters at the first fret and 19 millimeters at the 12th fret. The fretboard is also a straight radius at 17 inches, which makes it considerably flatter than the Super Shredder. The truss rod on the Genesis is unfortunately more of a traditional design where it's up at the headstock where you have to remove that access plate. The Ibanez still does have kind of a shredder's cut with the slanting of the actual base plate, but it's not to the degree of the Schecter. Lastly, the Ibanez is actually made in Japan, which is ridiculously awesome for a guitar at this price point. You usually have to shell out the cash for like an Ibanez Prestige or a J Custom to get a guitar actually made in Japan. Moving on to hardware. The Super Shredder rocks some sleek looking black hardware. Up at the top, the Super Shredder has Schecter branded black JO3M machine heads. They're accompanied by an all black locking nut with stainless steel screws. Adding stainless steel features to these guitars is kind of Schecter's signature design, and it makes it look unique and pretty cool. The trim also has this contrast of colors between the stainless steel and the black, but we'll get to that later in the trim section. The Super Shredder has two volume and tone knobs. They are the black dome knobs and they're knurled on the sides. Lastly, we have a 3-way blade switch that is pretty common amongst most Super Strat guitars. On to the Genesis. This guitar steps up the tuning machines by putting in black Gotoh tuners. It has an all black Ibanez Edge locking nut at the top, two black white etched Strat style knobs, 1 volume, 1 tone, and the heel has that nice neck plate, base plate with the Ibanez logo and its own individual serial number right there. The pickups are mounted on a black pick guard just like the Super Shredder, which rounds out that classic RG look. Next up, electronics. Now this is where the Super Shredder makes it really interesting. The pickups that come with this guitar are nothing to scoff at, seriously. In the bridge position, the Schecter rocks an EMG retroactive Hot 70, which is a high output active humbucker. According to the EMG site, this is a ceramic magnet pickup and it gives you Van Halen-esque sounds. Now in the neck you'll find the Sustainiac. Now this has kind of become a staple in Schecter's arsenal. Now the Sustainiac is a really interesting system because it exerts its influence directly physically on the strings rather than a usual guitar effect or a modeler. It makes feedback sustain by directly introducing energy and vibration to the strings. It will literally make your string vibrate for as long as you need it. Now these two switches on the Sun Valley Super Shredder allow you to do a couple things with the Sustainiac. One, turn it on and off, and two, switch between the different voicings of sustain that you want. Pretty awesome system if that's the sound you really are going for. Just keep in mind that both of these pickups, the EMG and the Sustainiac, are active pickups, require a 9-volt battery, and require that housing to be in the guitar, and you can find those on the back. All right, now let's take a look at the Ibanez Genesis. This guitar is an HSH design, just like the original 550 that was released in 1987. The pickups are all Ibanez made with the V8 in the bridge, an S1 in the middle position, and a V7 in the neck. The plus side to these pickups is that you have a 5-way blade switch, and you get the versatility and tone options that come with having 3 different pickups. These are quality passive pickups that offer great balanced tone for a variety of different playing styles. I think honestly the EMG and the Sustainiac, in terms of their features, edges out what the Ibanez has to offer in this category. But the great thing is you can always switch out your pickups, right? Moving on to tremolos. Again, in this category, the Sun Valley Super Shredder really makes it interesting. It rocks the Floyd Rose 1500 series floating tremolo. This is a Korean-made trem with stainless steel saddle screws that, in my understanding, is exclusive to Schecter, albeit a few other brands. I made a video that did a deep dive into the Floyd Rose 1500 right here at this link. If you're interested, I'll put a link in the description. Now, like I said earlier, the 1500 is generally a Schecter exclusive item, but they can be found on the Jackson Jeff Loomis signatures and also the Jim Root signature Charvel. Both of those are Fender brands, so it's probably a Fender thing. Now this trem in terms of quality is on par with the other Korean-made trem by Floyd Rose, the 1000 series. Different from the 1000 series, aside from the stainless steel screws, is that the 1500 comes with a push-in whammy bar rather than a screw-on. Now I have to say the stainless steel screws on this trem looks awesome, and it matches up really well with the exposed metal on the top of the Sustainiac. Something to be very careful about and to note is that Schecter says on their website that this trem is a hot-rodded Floyd Rose. This can be super misleading, leading some to believe that this is a Floyd Rose original hot rod series tremolo system. That is not the case. This is not an original Floyd Rose system. All you need to know is that the Sun Valley Super Shredder rocks a Korean-made trem rather than an original Floyd Rose that's actually made in Germany. Now the Genesis throws a wrench into this whole matchup. The Genesis 550 sports the coveted Ibanez Edge bridge. This is a phenomenal bridge and trem that's actually manufactured by Gotoh for Ibanez. Some say that this is one of the best trems on the market in terms of value. The Edge bridge is far more ergonomic than most of the Floyd Rose designs, as the fine tuners are located more towards the back and out of the way. Now a lost wax casting allows Gotoh to use denser metals in these trems, allowing for better sustain and vibration. Another plus is that the Edge has a pop-in whammy bar arm, just like the Floyd Rose 1500. Now, if you think about it, there's a reason players like Steve Vai and Joe Satriani have used the Edge trem for years. It's just a very good operating system. They're a phenomenal product and honestly increase the overall value of any guitar. Lastly, we're gonna talk appearance, because we all know the secret to playing good is looking good. The Sun Valley Super Shredder is a phenomenal looking guitar, if I do say so myself. The one with the green rain finish, which we've been mainly featuring today, looks very unique. The contrast of the bright pale maple fretboard and the black pickguard in the other finish looks really nice, and it really pops out at you. Now the Super Shredder does come in several different variations and finishes. Now keep in mind that these different styles and finishes also change the price just a little bit. Now coming back to the stainless steel hardware that's found in the Super Shredder, this is really an awesome look, and to be honest, it makes the guitar look way more fancy than it really is. Lastly, the offset dots and the 3 dots on the 24th fret make this guitar pretty unique, and you know by looking at it that this is a Schecter Sun Valley Super Shredder. Now the Genesis just has that awesome signature Ibanez look to it. The guitar is essentially a reissue of the 1987 RG 550 with just a few subtle changes to it. You can get this guitar in Road Flare Red, Desert Sun Yellow, Purple Neon, and also in white. The maple fretboard just screams 1980s style guitar, and the shade of it actually goes with really any finish that you might choose. A cool thing is that the headstock of the Genesis will always match the body color no matter what finish you get. Other than that, this is really a classic looking shredder's guitar, and to be honest, it's really become a staple in the metal guitar world. Well, this is the end, and we have a lot to consider in these two guitars. Remember, these two Super Strats are former BTNT champions, and we really got to figure out though which one gives you more metal for your money. But when you consider everything you get at this price point and actually where these guitars are manufactured, I think I'm gonna go with come on guys, I gotta go with the Ibanez Genesis RG550. Come on. I tried to make a convincing case for the Super Shredder, but hear me out. When you get a Genesis RG550 stock, you're not only getting Gotoh tuners, a Gotoh designed edge trim, but you're also getting a 5-piece walnut maple neck. Not to mention the whole thing is crafted and QC'd in Japan, which is phenomenal. Some of my thoughts against the Super Shredder is, yeah, the electronics are really nice with the Sasaniac and the EMG retroactive, but that's really tailored to a specific market. You'd probably want to buy that guitar if you are looking for those pickups. Otherwise, you'd have to change them out. And say you take out the Sasaniac, you're still going to leave 2 inoperable switches behind, which, you know, what are they gonna do? But hey, as always, that's just my 2 cents. I wanna hear from you guys. If you have either of these guitars or you just flat out disagree, let us know in the comments. But I just wanna thank each and every one of you for stopping by. It truly means the world to me that you're supporting this channel. And also, if you haven't done it yet, consider subscribing so you don't miss any videos like this one. And with that said, I will see y'all later.